This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. Hopefully everything's running, because right as we're about to start, of course, everything has to crash, and we have to do an emergency reboot and whatever. Welcome to the program. I am Eric. Over there, that is Jordan.
Don't tell him how the sausage is made. Just professionals here. At least one of us is.
Yeah. See, look, it's in the wrong.
See, there you go. It's not even in the right spots.
Of course,
hi, everybody.
We load everything up. We have everything ready to go. Perfect. Songs playing, and all of a sudden I was like, "Hey, the whole system just locked up." Of course it did. Of course it did. Anyway, welcome to the program, everybody. If you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us on demand somewhere at another space-time continuum, whatever you're doing on Apple, Spotify, any of those places, do us a kindness. Go over there and leave us a positive review. It does definitely help out the program, and you have been doing that, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. If you're listening to us live and you want to come join us in the live rooms, go over to, we don't even have the thing up on the screen. I'll put that up while I say this. Go over to our live rooms over on YouTube and on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel. You can hop into one of those rooms and be part of the program as we do it. Set your likes, subscribes, the bell things, the alerts, all of that stuff so that you know when we're on. You can come over and join us each and every week as we do the program. Jordan, you know how this is going so far? How are you doing? Tell me about you. Vamp a little.
I mean, I'm doing better than the start of this show. I'm having a good day. I took a half day off, celebrated my youngest child's 8th birthday. So we went and did some boy stuff. We went to a sporting goods store, and as weird as that sounds, this sporting goods store that I went to was massive. It's called Shells. Apparently it's big in the Midwest, probably East Coast. I'd never heard of it. They had just put one in here in Chandler, Arizona. It is massive. Like, it is 2 stories tall. It had a Ferris wheel in the middle of it. Like, it had candy shop. It had a shooting range. It had golf, video games. Like, it had everything you need. And for an 8-year-old, it was like Disneyland. We went on the ride. We had a good lunch. We did, those old timey like shooting galleries where you have to shoot the little red dot out in the distance and like something can flies up or one of those things. Yeah. We did that for like 30 minutes.
No old-fashioned pellet guns.
Yeah, it was a great old time, man. We had a fun time, so we did that. And
no, I said, was there no old-fashioned pellet guns? It was the
no, I didn't see any. They did have like things like a small bowling alley built into it, guns as far as the eye can see, huge like stock and inventory. We were checking out some of the Chiefs gear for the Super Bowl coming up, and it was a good old time. It's weird that something as simple as going to that kind of place could make your kid's day. It was a really fun time. And then came back home, opened up some gifts. Obviously, as an 8-year-old growing up in 2024, I had to buy him an iPad and
a Stanley Cup,
Govee lights, and they had like a bunch of Stanley Cups there. We didn't get any, thankfully, but it was a good day. It was a slower week, just kind of hanging out, kind of real tired, but I mean, today was fun, so had a good time.
Good. I'm glad the young lad had a good time out with his dad. Where'd you eat? Anywhere fun?
No, they actually had like this cafe built into it. And I thought, okay, we're already here because it's built into a mall. So we thought maybe we go hit the food court and then come back and check out some of the other stuff. But we saw a cafe. We went in. They had just like the standard, you get a little pizza, sandwich, subs, and things like that. But what's cool is that, we ordered our food. So I ordered a chicken bacon ranch pizza.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be like a little personal pizza. It was like it was a good sized pizza for like $8. And then he got like chicken strips and things like that. But as we were waiting for our food, they have a beef jerky counter. So you go up there and you can get like half a pound. Yeah, half a pound for $15. Next time I go in, I'm going to go in this weekend to get a jersey for my daughter. I'm going to take pictures because they had
or some jerky for your daughter.
Both. They had like all kinds of different flavors, like the orange chicken flavored beef jerky. They had all kinds of pepper jerky, jalapeno jerky, things like that. Then next to it was an ice cream counter with like, all the fixins. Next to that was a fudge counter. So you can buy fudge and things like that. And the lady was really cool. She found out it was his birthday, gave us both, fudge for our stuff. So we got like a birthday cake fudge. I got peanut butter, chocolate or whatever. And then next to that was the caramel apples and all that stuff. Like it was really caramel apples.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like, imagine like a Dick's Sporting Goods or back in the day, a Sports Authority, but like 4 times as big, 2 stories, tons of stuff in it. Like it just had everything. It was really cool.
Did they have a giant like aquatic tank that you could strip down and go in like you did at the Bass Pro Shop?
No, they did have a big tank. It was like an archway. So it was like 2 big pillars, really big pillars of just the fish. And then it went across the top. So you like walk into the store and like you're surrounded by fish. And then on the second row, they had this giant like fake mountain with like all the different animals that people can kill. So it was like, oh, great. Look, it's the Death Mountain. And we, checked out some of that stuff and then went over and looked at. Go
on, son. Take your pick of endangered species. Go
right,
ahead.
exactly.
It's your birthday.
Hey, remember that squirrel? There it is.
Right.
A bunch of coyotes. There's a bear. Like it was very interesting. Like I floated all kinds of ideas to do stuff with him today. And then we saw that and we're like, yeah, let's go there. And it was fun. And then this weekend we'll do more family oriented. We're going to go to Dave and Buster's, play the video games, have both kids there and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty fun though.
All right. Well, good time had by all out there doing something out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Well, I mean, weather's still good right now, so we might as well go out and have some fun before we're indoors for 7 months.
It happens. There's a whole bunch of stuff we got to get to here and a lot of, there's a lot in segment 2 too. So I don't know if we have time for everything this week, but we will do our best to get through all of this. I do want to point out a couple things. One, so I got asked to come on a podcast called the David Collins 30-minute half-hour show.
I love the title.
So David Collins used to be a radio guy who, like most radio guys, are not in radio anymore.
Yeah.
And he started off his own thing. And it's weird, but it's a fun format. It's definitely unique. It's a bit Daily Show. It's a bit old-fashioned radio game show style in there. And with a little bit of the way he talks to his guests is almost like, when they need to do filler as they're setting up the next game, so the host comes over and talks to the contestants.
Right.
So where are you from? Oh, you have 4 kids. How's things in Wichita? That kind of stuff. So he does those little interstitials, then it goes into the next thing. That half hour goes by really damn fast.
That's crazy.
So I'll post it on our social medias this weekend if you want to check it out or go over onto YouTube. I think he has it on. I'm not 100% sure if it's an audio podcast or if it's just something he does.
I'll check while you're talking
online
about
for you
it.
to watch. But the David Collins 30-minute half-hour show, I was on there. It was a lot of fun. So moving on. So I have that to promote. Also, something else with podcasting doesn't really affect us, but I know it's going to affect a lot of other shows. We meant to get to this last week, but we've had so much. The Apple Podcasts has now announced that for their platform, because look, say what you want, Apple is still the main portal, threshold, if you will, for anything podcasting in an audio medium. It goes through them, and as far as your impressions and ad sales and things like that, a lot of it still holds on to Apple's numbers as being legitimate as far as what companies are going to buy and advertising, all that other stuff. So Apple Podcasts now sent out a note that they are going to be doing mandatory transcribing of shows. So you may think, oh, what's the big deal? That's just a whole transcription. Who's really going to read that? I'll tell you who's going to read that. People who don't like radio shows, who don't like certain comedians, who don't like certain political hosts, or any kind of host, maybe an influencer, any kind of expert in a certain genre. If you have a problem with that person, they're going to go through, and instead of having to try to find clips of this stuff, you can just take the transcript, scan for keywords and phrases and stuff, and get the time code essentially. the whereabouts, go in, and then it just makes it a lot easier for people to clip stuff and do this. So if you've got podcasts that somehow, I don't know, a bit more controversial, a bit more edgy in their language or their thinking, stuff like that, especially the comics. The people love getting comics in trouble for no reason. But you could take some lines from a comic, from a host, whatever, and you go, oh, look what they said, and it's right here, and then you start soliciting that out to sponsors or platforms and all that shit, malicious stuff, without hearing the context of it. It's going to start causing a lot more problems. It just makes it easier for people to fuck with people. The other part of it is that you could, if you're one of those shows that was maybe even flying under the radar with some of your edgier stuff with your advertisers, with certain platforms, whatever, it's busting you right there without even having to hear the context. They'll just look at, oh, Apple's transcription says this, so that has to be the case. I'm waiting for when this is fully implemented to see what and who gets affected down the line. It could be, just regular smaller podcasts that are just doing a YouTube thing or just doing some smaller audio version, all the way up to one of these podcasts that a company just spent $100 million on for a 3-year, 5-year deal, and something's taking out of context just because it's a slow news day or people are just trying to fuck with other people.
Right. I'm in the Apple beta, so all my phone gets all the updates ahead of time. So I have this on my phone already. Mm-hmm. And it works on our podcast, works on my other podcast. And the way it is, and you don't use Apple Music, you use Spotify. So in Apple Music, you have an option when you're listening to a song to hit a button and in real time puts the lyrics up. So it's almost like karaoke. You can see the lyrics going. It does the same thing with podcasts. So you can click on a sentence in that podcast. It goes right to that part of the podcast. It's kind of weird.
There's some programs that do that for certain podcasting outlets. What's the one that some radio stations use? Riverside FM, I think it's called.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
I think that's one of the programs, too, where you can search by the keyword, click on it, and it takes you to the exact time point, which is great in an editing sense. Like if you have to cut up these things for a best of clip or pull a promo clip or you're pulling something for like TikTok and vertical video, that kind of stuff, that's where it's sort of a godsend to help you find exactly where it is. The other side of it is that, people are going to use this for, I was thinking bigger names besides the comics, but you think about like Megyn Kelly or some kind of, or Tucker Carlson or somebody like that, whether you like them or not isn't the point, but on any side of that, it could be Keith Olbermann, if you're on that side, they can just go through the text, find something, and then it makes it easier to start pulling this bullshit.
So as we're talking,
right,
they do have a search.
Did we get fired? Did we say something? Did I hard say it? What happened?
They do have a search feature on this as well. So I just put it in there, and I put in the F word for my last show that we just put out this week.
Right.
Apparently, we said the F word 121 times.
When?
Not this show. I'll watch it later. My other show that I put out, and I just did the search 121 times. We said the F word.
I was going to say there is no
That's
way
insanity.
we say that.
No, we don't. That's what's funny. And then I did it for mine. I'm like, oh man, 120. Maybe we need to stop doing that so much.
Right.
So yeah, that's telling.
It's
not just so much content, but like what you can do with it.
It's just interesting that they don't give you the option to
it's mandatory,
or to turn on that feature, or to make it the feature of the program that's being put on there. Like, hey, on your back end of our system here, you can go and get the transcript. I know there's certain programs now for streaming. I don't know if Streamlabs OBS is doing. I heard something that they might be, but I know StreamYard does it. I know a few other things that do any kind of video streaming do it. Have this option now where you can have the show transcribed into like a text file or whatever the other format is.
Yeah.
And get that done, and then you have it there. It doesn't give you a key link to the video. It doesn't give you all that stuff, but it's here. It's making it easy. And I wanted to transcribe, and I'm actually in the process of transcribing our older catalog to try to find things easier for cutting up for, best of clips and when we reference something in the past, like, oh, here's the clip, and then put it up online. But just making it available for everybody, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it won't be used that way, but all I see is the negative in any new technology. And I go, well, this is how it's going to cause a problem.
I think the initial reason is accessibility. It's making things more accessible because I believe someone or some service got sued not too long ago, but this could be the last 5-10 years,
right?
Where because they didn't provide a visual transcript of what someone could listen to, it was taking the deaf community out of being able to enjoy podcasts. So it became an accessibility issue. So in theory, technically all podcasts or all audio mediums, things like that, should have a visual representation of that show.
Right.
And I think this is Apple's way of getting in line with those regulations. So I don't know if they're being forced to do it and they finally are catching up, or they're getting ahead of it before they get in trouble.
Well, have the notice that was sent around to everybody.
Yeah, I got an email. Yeah.
Oh, you got an email? Did you get the same one? All right.
I can search it real quick. Okay.
This is going out to companies and people who have RSS feeds, all of that stuff. To make podcasts more accessible to users, we're adding transcripts to the Apple Podcasts. Listeners will be able to read along with your podcast plays or access a transcript from your episode page. Does it automatically? I don't have an Apple Podcast page set up because we're not through Apple.
Yeah, but
way.
if your show is going out to the Apple streaming service, because I listen to our show through Apple streaming, I think it transcribes. In fact, while we're reading that email, I can go to our last show and I can see if they do it.
All right, you look at that. I'll finish this. On your episode page, Apple Podcasts will start to automatically create and display transcripts of your shows, or you can provide them on your own. Learn more by clicking here. As part of this enhancement, we've updated our terms and conditions to maintain blah blah blah. Click here for that. All right. And if you offer subscriptions as part of the Apple Podcasters program, you should review and accept the updated podcast agreement involved. All right. The rest of it is all legality stuff, as far as read our terms and conditions and that kind of thing. We're not behind a paywall for the podcast. I know. We've been working with somebody with the old catalog because we're in year 10 of doing this show. So the old shows from like Satellite and the first couple years with iHeart are going to go and be available behind the YouTube subscription. There'll be video versions of those shows available. You get the last year or so available currently, but as time goes on and stuff like that, a lot of it's going to be put behind the paywall there, so you can pay for it and get all the shows and what have you. I don't know how that works because it does feed to Apple because you have to,
right?
So does it automatically generate a page for us that we're not aware of, or?
I don't know, because my other show is done. We do it through a service and then we can add things to where it's going to go. So my show does have the transcript on there. I can see it, but for It's Eric Nagel, I just looked 3 different shows in the past. They're not showing it. So it's either moving forward or not. But after this one goes up, I'll double check it. But I don't think we're getting that particular service on the It's Eric Nagel version of Apple Podcasts.
Right.
That's something we may have to provide or transcribe ourselves.
I'm not doing that. Screw that. I don't give
it.
I'm not offering it up to them.
Yeah.
But again, they're just a portal for our stuff. We're not running through their company as the way that our show does business. So, all right, we'll figure that out down the line. But I just saw this come out and I go, all right, Tom's not completely wrong. Tom from Alberta in the chat. Eric distrusts new technology. He probably complained about the rising power bills when the defibrillator was invented. I usually tried. Here's the thing: when you get presented on a video or a news clip or something about new technology, they're showing you what the company put out as their press release about all the benefits and all the bells and whistles for what it is. But I look at it, I go, how is this detrimental? Because there's always a downside to a lot of this stuff. And if the downside isn't that bad, then, good. I'm always for advancing technology. But there's always people will use it for the wrong way. And then it was intended to be used. And I'm trying to see what the downside is. The downside to that notice from Apple saying that we're going to automatically transcribe everything that comes through here just makes it easier for people who hate shows and hate comics and hate news people and hate personalities, hate whatever, whoever they don't like, makes it easier for them to find stuff out of context to try to mess with people, because that's just what online is nowadays.
Right. So my show, I'll watch it later, has it. So if you guys want to come after me, go look through the transcripts. It definitely does work for me.
You know, that podcast stuff bit our pal Shane Gillis in the ass for Saturday Night Live, even though
it really did. Yeah.
A lot of people didn't really think what he said was too bad. You know, people made a big fucking deal about it when he got picked up as a cast member just to cause a problem and get him fired. But past that point, no one really gave a shit about what he said and what he did. Now he's got that new deal with Bud Light. Did you see that? Bud Light picked him up and is doing an official sponsorship with him. So all they need to do is go back to his podcasts that are all transcribed and go, holy shit, what did we do here?
Like,
I'm not faulting Shane. I think Shane and Matt's secret podcast is fantastic, but I know just see where this is going.
Right. Well, I know getting on SNL is usually like a big thing for comics, and it puts their name out there. It gets a little more widespread look, and, you know, it can help, propel people's careers, but I don't know. I think he's doing pretty well without it. Like, he's, got past the controversy, and then he's got some specials out. He's got the podcast. He's getting sponsorship deals. But
that's what I'm talking about. He just stepped in to this brand new corporate sponsorship deal with one of the biggest, beer companies in the world. And, people are going to be gunning for him again because of the stuff from the past from Saturday Night Live, and now maybe through this new technology, combing through his shows to find anything to ruin this deal, because people just have to be like that. I don't know. It says here, Shane Gillis will partner with the beer brand Bud Light following a dismal year for the brand. Very dismal. Almost murky dismal, if you know that reference. According to the company's post on Instagram. Welcome to the team, Shane Gillis. Excited to be part of your 2024 tour. So they're sponsoring his comedy tour this year. Excited to announce the partnership with Bud Light. Gillis posted, Bud Light sales plummeted last year after news broke that the brand had partnered with transgender influencer and activist Dylan Mulvaney. Mulvaney was announced as the Bud Light spokesperson to promote March Madness basketball tournament in April, because that seems like a natural pairing.
Right.
Which prompted months-long boycotts of the brand. The trans activist showed off cans of Bud Light sent by Anheuser-Busch that featured Mulvaney's face, celebrating the milestone in her viral 365 Days of Girlhood series, where the influencer details her daily experiences in the first year identifying as a transgender woman on TikTok. The partnership led to backlash and plummeting Bud Light sales, resulting in the company no longer being America's top-selling beer brand, I think for the first time in the history of that company. It's like if Coca-Cola did
they did New Coke
with New Coke, and they took a nice swift kick in the teeth, and then they had to come back and they said, look, New Coke was not it, despite their slogan saying this is it. It's Coke Classic. We put it back to the way you were, the way you liked it. It's Coke Classic, and guess what? Sales went above what they were before they started New Coke. So there's been speculation. Did they purposely try to tank their brand to bring it back to be bigger? Or was this just a blunder? Now, it's being taught. I know people who do advertising and marketing stuff, and they said going through school, it was taught that, of missteps, big missteps.
That was a big one
in the history of marketing and branding, at least as far as, Coca-Cola is a worldwide brand, but it's an American company. Budweiser fell suit with this, and now they're doing a reverse on all of this. And look, Shane Gillis is a very blue-collar guy, very funny guy. If you're trying to get those people back, look, Shane always loved Bud Light, and even said during all that stuff he didn't give a shit. He's still drinking Bud Light when everybody else was, running into stores and kicking pallets like that was going to do anything. Kid Rock was shooting them in the backyard of his house for some reason.
God, I know.
It was just dumb because the company doesn't care at that point. When people buy a product to then trash it in the street to show that you're protesting, they don't care. They got your money because you bought the thing to trash it. They don't care what you do with it past that point. Once the stores have it in there, the stores already paid the company that made it, so they don't care about that. The stores now care that you bought it. Once you bought it, the stores don't care anymore. So now twice removed of two companies that don't give a shit what you're doing with their product if you're going to destroy it.
They did the same thing with Nike. They were burning football jerseys and shoes and stuff like that. You're like, we got your money. Who cares? Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Right.
And when you're back on the train, you're going to go buy a new one. We'll be here. Like, it's stupid. Like, don't go out and buy something to trash it. Just don't go buy it.
Yeah. If you had it.
If it's there
in your house and then you went to destroy it in outrage, still dumb. It does nothing, but at least that makes more sense.
Right.
You know, it's like we've had this in our home for 5 years, and then it turns out the company did something inhumane. You know, sweatshops or poisoning rivers or something. You know, like that, and then you throwing your stuff out. All right, that makes sense. Going to the store to buy it, to make a viral video, to destroy it in the street, or to get on the news to show, like, we're not going to tolerate this, but you paid for it. Well, we're not going to pay for it again. It doesn't matter if you pay for it again at this point. They already got your money, so your protest is moot. Anyway, good for Shane. I'm happy for him. Great guy. Yeah. Good to see all that stuff. And smart on Bud. It's not Anheuser-Busch anymore. Who owns it? Seagram's? InBev. Because I know there's two or three major beverage companies that own almost everything.
InBev owns most of it.
InBev is the other one. Okay. Foreign company too, right? Aren't they German? Belgian, right.
Like me.
So smart on their part there to try to walk this back and go in a more blue-collar direction. Look, it's never been a better time. And I said it when this thing was happening last year. It's never been a better time. I'm not even a fan of Miller, to bring back those old 80s, 70s, 80s ads, the bar where Miller Lite for the taste great, less filling, where you had all the comics and the jocks and other celebrities were all just showing up in a bar and arguing over beer. Do it again.
You know what's great? Don't even do it again. Just re-release the old ones. Touch them up, stick them back out there. I want to see John Madden talking about beer.
There might be some rights to that with them being deceased. I don't know. But if that's not the case, yeah, I'm with you. Bring back the old Rodney ads. Bring back the John Madden ads.
I love the Rodney ones, yeah.
Yeah, all of them in there. Or recreate the magic with modern people. Just write the same you can do hokey shtick.
Right.
With these athletes and certain celebrities, you know, the ones that makes sense to put in there. Don't just put Timothy Chalamet into a bar because you think he's going to be drinking Miller Lite with
Get out of here, Wonka.
Travis Kishi or whatever his name is. Like, you know that's not happening. But if you had Shane Gillis in there arguing with, you know, some basketball player, and they're arguing with a basketball player over that, like, it makes sense. There's ways to do that. Miller would be smart to go and go back to that well. And
the old theme songs, like the Bush Beer theme song and stuff like that. Bring all that stuff back.
There's no theme songs anymore.
No, we don't have any of that.
No one cares about sitcoms, but sitcoms are where you got all your TV theme songs from.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to have a good slogan and a good jingle to go with a beer company, and you'd be head for the mountains of Bush beer.
Yeah,
like that.
So good.
That's all it takes. It's those little earworms that just. There's a reason people remember this shit 4 decades later because it was so memorable.
I still sing theme songs about like stupid shit, and it's all about nostalgia. I mean, I just we'll talk about it in segment 2. I finished up the whole 5 episodes of Masters of the Universe, and I'm sitting there walking with my son, watching it, going, I used to have that toy, I used to have that toy, and I could name that, and like it's nostalgia definitely sells people on things.
Lucy Moody in the chat. The best part of waking up.
It's Folgers in your cup.
Yeah. It works. There was a reason that it works. And people now think, anything older, like it's hokey. No one's doing it anymore. So like I say, bop, now it's mine. Do it and take it and bring it back. If a company came back and just did jingles again, you'd be... What do you hear jingles now? Stupid insurance companies. Nationwide is on your side, or what's that? Limu, Emu, and Doug. That's it. Who knows what happens after the and Doug part?
Everyone My kids goes, know all of that Limu. Stuff.
Yeah, not Nemo. Limu, Emu, and Doug. You know that. You don't know what the rest of the thing is. Nationwide, State Farm.
Nationwide is on your side.
Yeah, just do that. What's so wrong with that? Or wait, hold on. Remember the old ad here.
When nature's calling, don't be stalling. Use your common sense before you let it flow. Find a place to go, just don't whiz on
The electric fence.
See? You remember that?
That'll be in your head all night.
Bring back the jingles. Be fantastic.
That would be good.
Everyone's trying to do influencer shit and you know, viral videos and everything. Go back to what worked. Just make some catchy jingles.
Oh, check this one out.
Good time, great taste of McDonald's. Lucy Moody, Burger King does the Whopper jingles. My nephew. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they are annoying.
Whopper. Yeah, I hate that
is
one.
annoying, but it's exactly what I'm
stuck
talking
in your
about.
head.
It's effective and it works.
Yeah,
it works.
My son does the same. I'm like, shut up, go to your room. Stop singing about the Whopper.
Do you remember for a while
the McDonald's
they had
house?
Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish? He was dressed up in his country gear and he was singing about the bacon chicken ranch.
Oh my god!
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Burger King's bacon chicken ranch is it's like he's singing like an old cowboy song while he's talking about this stupid sandwich.
So dumb.
It worked,
but it sticks with you. You need to go back to just good old fashioned advertising.
Yeah, Rob, it's like, here, you asked for it, you got it. Toyota. Why not?
Rob just wants to watch Forget Paris. We're gonna do that tonight. We're gonna watch it together. I love that movie.
The Billy Crystal movie.
The Billy Crystal movie. That's what it's for. Well, I mean, the ad is there, but there's a part where the old man, he was the same, right. I think the same old man from Christmas Vacation that was wearing the hat, that was eating, like his wife put the cat food in the Jell-O. And he would go, like every time they'd go past like an advertisement, he'd see it and he'd see like a Toyota and go, you asked for it, you got it, Toyota. It's like, he would just do that through the whole movie. It was hilarious.
Turkish John in the chat. My kids love the car insurance commercials. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Right? Liberty. Yeah.
Liberty, bibbity.
Yeah. Liberty, bibbity. What was the old one that there was something where the old guy would just go, great googly moogly.
Oh, Snickers. Remember? It was
the guy on the football field, right?
He was painting he's supposed to be painting the Chiefs name on the end zone,
chefs,
and he spelled chefs, and he goes, hey, is that supposed to say Chiefs? He goes, great googly moogly.
Great googly moogly.
And they redid it this past year with the coach of the Chiefs, Andy Reid. He would come up to the old man, and he goes, it's supposed to say Chiefs. And they redid it. I was like, that's genius. Bring the old stuff back.
You should bring the old stuff back. I mean, hell, look.
Oh, my God. Here's another one.
Here's a song. Hold on. Here's a song that doesn't even have lyrics to it. But you know the song and you know the company. Because as soon as you hear this, you think Ocean Spray. Or you think Bad Phone Scam from Scott Todd. Sorry. Very similar. Very similar indeed. But yeah, you know that song. You remember the guy just would go bow, 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 and he's just dancing in the fucking cranberry bog.
Right.
Yeah, it was just so weird. And then they would go sweet tart, and then the kid would go sweet tart, and then
exactly. There we go. There's another one that I always remember.
Make it last a little longer with
Big Red.
That big
red freshness.
Through ya.
See, and we haven't seen that.
It doesn't go right through you. Gets right to you. Goes right through you would be a bigger problem.
Yeah, it just
big
goes
red
right
on
through.
the other end. Yeah.
Like ooh, that cinnamon flavor goes right through.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you haven't seen those commercials for years.
Gonna move ya.
Yeah.
Tastes so
like just all those.
Tastes so right. It gets right to you. Oh, that's the get right to you. It's Juicy Fruit, not Big Red, that I was singing.
Yeah, gum was like advertising and trying to like get your money.
They were
like, who doesn't buy gum? It's like watching.
I feel like chicken
tonight.
Now, to be fair, I only knew that through
from The Simpsons
before I knew it was an actual commercial. That and the Armour hot dog jingle.
That Armour hot dog I learned from The Simpsons. I had no idea that was a thing until then I looked it up and like, oh, that is like a real jingle.
Turkish John, Mentos Freshness, the fresh maker.
They just get stuck in your head.
Full of life, and the guy would always go,
"It's Mentos,
like,
the fresh
There was
maker."
just a massive 5-car pile up in a busy intersection of a city. Somebody's leg is twitching from under a vehicle, but the one guy just holds up the Mentos stick.
He's got the fruit Mentos.
The cop turns and is doing the double guns like that, and then everything's good because it was a Mentos day.
Yeah.
It's
so good.
So good.
Love it.
Tom from Alberta. The song does have lyrics. It's called No, that's for the Blues Brothers song. Yes, I know it's Rubber Biscuit. The other one was from Ocean Spray. Different version. Sounds similar, but it's something completely different.
Oh my God.
Rob Stark, the hot dog jingle is from Demolition Man.
Well, they put it out from Demolition, but Armor Hot Dog actually had that as one of their advertisements back in the day. So, but they made it into Demolition Man when Lieutenant Huxley was talking about her favorite songs, and it was all just advertising jingles.
Wasn't one of them Taco Bell?
Taco Bell was the one that won all the fast food wars, and that's why all the restaurants are Taco Bell.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's why back when it came out, Taco Bell was doing all the
I havenn't seen that movie in a long
cups
time.
and stuff like that. I know way too much about that stupid one.
I do need it. Did I show this one already? Yeah, I'd like to get some jingles for the show. That'd be fun.
That would be pretty good.
We used to have, when I was working at PLJ, Scott and Todd, they used to have rockapella come up every now and then. Do you know who
I remember those
is?
Guys. Were they the same guys that did the Carmen Sandiego theme?
They're the acapella group that did Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. But they used to do a couple of other commercials too, and one of them was they did the Folgers. They did the Folgers version, and it's the one where the some young man, maybe early 20s, came home from college and like for Christmas time, and his little sister woke up and caught him. He's like, oh my God. So he's like, shh. So he starts making coffee and breakfast, and they're sitting there at the table, and then the family wakes up because it smells like coffee. Yeah, I think that was one of their commercials where they were doing the acapella version of the theme.
You know, that comes up every Christmas on the internet because they call it the incest Folgers commercial. In fact, they made a parody of that where the brother comes home, gives the girl goes, "You're my gift," and puts the bow on him, and he gives her a box, and the parents come down, "Wait, what are you doing here?" And it's like he wants to F his sister, and then he gives her a ring. He's trying to it's hilarious. But it's a joke on the internet.
Or it's just edited out of context?
The parody is making fun of that commercial and how creepy, almost incestuous the original Folgers commercial is. But it comes up every year.
I think it was a Folgers commercial too. There was a commercial from the early to mid 90s that used to get edited out of context to make it look really terrible. I don't remember much about it other than the guy that was in the commercial was the one who played Giles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Anthony Stewart Head.
Yeah, the guy who was the librarian and all that. He's in the coffee commercial, and there was something about
I've seen those.
He's at dinner with a lady, and she says something suggestive, and he kind of goes like that, they just cut it in a way to make it look like he was having an orgasm while the coffee
they were like those Nespresso
served.
Commercials, or it was like, I know exactly. I remember those now that I think about it. It was right before he became real famous with the Buffy stuff. It was like around that time.
I would love if you get a cappella groups to do jingles again, that they all have to do that beginning of Carmen Sandiego, where no matter what the song is, the baritone guy just goes, hoo, and then that's how the song starts. Hoo, good time, great taste of McDonald's. Hoo. It's like you put it in again. It's like, why does that guy keep making that sound? That's their signature. That's what they do every time.
Ooh.
Oh,
that would be weird.
I miss jingles.
Me too.
All right.
Speaking of jingles, did you see that TikTok is having an issue with Universal Music?
Yes, it's not only an issue, it happened. Universal Music has now officially pulled their entire catalog from being used on TikTok for videos and stupid dance crazes and what have you. I have something.
And that's like heavy hitters like Taylor Swift. And considering the fervor of Taylor Swift currently with all the
they're not going to do anything Super Bowl, anything going up with Taylor's music because it's not available anymore.
Yep, it's gone.
And from what I understand, they're going back and muting all those videos.
Yeah, all the old videos are just going silent.
So if there's girls dancing or if they're doing something with Taylor's music, the music gets muted.
Just dancing.
So if they're talking or saying something, their audio track's gone. So you're just going to watch a video for 20 seconds to 2 minutes of them, whatever involving Taylor Swift, and it's just nothing. So here's what happens here. A spokesperson for TikTok confirmed to NBC News today, as we're doing the show, that Universal Music Group's catalog is no longer available for the TikTok platform. Even before the Universal Music Group removed its catalog from TikTok, artists with the label were on the platform sounding the alarm. I have a new song coming out, so my music is getting taken down in 5 hours, but I have a new song coming out in 9 hours, said singer Dean Lewis, who is who posted on his TikTok. So my song's not coming out on TikTok. I don't know who Dean Lewis is. Dean Lewis joins a list of some of the top music acts of the moment, including Taylor Swift, Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, and more, who saw much of their catalog removed after the app from the app after TikTok and UMG failed to strike a deal on a new contract. Spokesperson for TikTok confirmed that the catalog is no longer available on the platform. Universal Music Group is a Dutch American-owned company, has no relation to NBC Universal, the parent company of NBC. All right. A spokesperson for Universal Music Group said artist rights advocates are speaking up in support of our actions. Their agreements with TikTok have expired because TikTok's unwillingness to appropriately compensate artists and songwriters, protect human artists from the harmful effects of AI, and address online safety issues for TikTok users. The removal of UMG's songs means thousands and thousands and potentially millions of videos that used to music from the company catalog will now have no audio. Clips of people scream singing along with a Taylor Swift song, Speak Now, I don't know that particular song, or dancing to Ariana Grande's new song, Yes and, are going to be creepily silent.
I kind of want to watch those now.
I kind of do too.
Someone just yelling and screaming, you're like, I don't know what they're doing.
I wonder if
that's when people go in and put music over, or like do lyrics over, like
or like little kids do. Like when girls are doing dance moves and stuff, they have the music playing off their Bluetooth speaker in their room while they're recording to their phone on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
So even if it's playing in the background somewhere, that's gone. Tom from Alberta, real quick, saying Dean Lewis is the son of Huey Lewis. I don't believe that's true.
Go to the next one.
But one can hope. All right, so moving on. So it's not just fan videos. Some artists' own music videos are being removed from the pages as well. Where we got here? Audio from a video on Taylor Swift's profile, which appeared to be to previously use the UMG-owned song "Raiden" by Charlemagne. I almost said Charmander, which is a Pokemon thing, right?
No, it's Charmander.
Charmander. By Chameleon Air, which is not even close.
I haven't heard Chameleon Air in forever.
Is now silenced. On mobile devices, the video shows a label that says sound removed due to copyright restrictions. I want to see this new trend of all these little trendy videos, dance videos and stuff where the music's gone and you're just like, this looks like they're like The Walking Dead. Like or they're being like possessed by a demon. What is happening here?
Especially like if it's like a big dance number and it's just silence and like they're just like gyrating and doing weird shit.
Right. TikTok proposed paying our artists and songwriters at a rate that is a fraction of the rate similarly situated major social platforms pay. TikTok pushed back on Wednesday, claiming that the company was putting their own greed above the interests of the artists and songwriters. So this has been a back and forth issue with UMG and TikTok since 2019.
Dang.
But they put their money where their mouth is and said, well, you know what? F you, pay me. And turned it off. They flipped the switch like, you can't use any of our stuff anymore. So, yeah, you're right. It's Super Bowl's next weekend. So
it's a week from this upcoming Sunday, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how these fans are reacting.
Mm-hmm.
How much you want to bet a lot of them are going to say that this is affecting Taylor and this is ruining Taylor? We need to we need to protect Taylor. Like they all treat her like she's this fragile elk that, you know, the newborn elk in the woods that she can't do anything for herself. But then on the other side of their mouth, they're spewing she's a strong, prominent businesswoman and a marketing genius and all this other stuff. But we need to protect Taylor because people are saying bad things about her, or the AI photos that are coming out about her, which, look, I'm not arguing against that. I think that was kind of shitty, those AI photos. But
well, I said it last week, if these things come out all the time, but because it's Taylor Swift, there's going to be repercussions. And the guy, I think, got arrested or he's in trouble. And they're putting new bills through Congress, that are going to limit what you can do with AI photography and things like that. So, you know, the second she got involved, now it's a huge deal, like, all of a sudden. So as much you can love her or hate her, when it's something to do with Taylor Swift, something's going to happen. Whatever, it's she moved mountains at this point.
Yeah, and then they're trying to throw her into politics, which I don't think she really gives a shit about politics, but they're trying to put her in there too. Like there's some Trump aides are saying that they're going to rage a holy war against Taylor. It's like, why?
I'll get over it.
Why? Who cares? She's not going to affect anything. And everyone's like, she'll affect the general election this year. And Biden's administration Biden's campaign people are trying vigorously to get her endorsement for Biden now so they can run. Look, you get it now. Go ahead, get it now. It doesn't mean anything 8 months from now. It doesn't wait. November, 10 months from now. Yeah, it won't mean anything 10 months from now because everyone's going to forget about this. They'll be dealing with other shit. Taylor's going to be, finishing the rest of her leg of her world tour, and then she's going to disappear for a couple years until she comes out with another album. That's just what artists do. Mm-hmm. It's not going to affect the election. It might affect now, but nobody's voting now, so who cares? And why are you going to go after her? Doesn't make any sense. It's like it's a bad look for the Trump people to do that. Just ignore it and do your thing and leave that aspect of it out. This is just going to be fun to see all these people complaining that they can't use Taylor music in their TikToks. Do we see, because of Taylor and this thing here, do we see a rapid decline in TikTok usage? Like when people got pissed at Bud Light, they stopped buying it? Or are people, when it comes to social media, people are that stupid that they're all bark and no bite, and they'll just scream and complain about it, but then they're still on there watching all these videos because they're addicted?
It's all bark and no bite. Mainly because, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, people were complaining, oh no, they're stealing all our identities. China's taking all our information. Oh God, let's not ever go on the app. It's stronger than ever. Same thing with Elon taking over Twitter/X. Oh, I'm never going to use this again. And then you get some drop off, but it's still just as popular. You're not going to lose the amount of people you think you are. You might have the little fall offs, but people are still going to go to it. They just may not make, dance videos or singing videos, but content's still going to be there. I mean, shit, they got TikTok shops now you can buy stuff through. And I've done it. It worked. I got a good discount. I got a portable monitor. I mean, it's a great thing. It's not going anywhere, and it's not going to lose the amount of viewers and influencers you think it is.
Speaking of
not you personally,
things like TikTok shops, because Instagram has their shop too,
right?
So we just got to notice that we're going to be featured next week with Zoa energy drinks. So the review we did of the Duanta's Holiday Punch video, they liked it and are using it as part of something. I don't know what it is, but I think they said February 6th they're doing something with Zoa, and we're going to be featured in it. So that's pretty cool.
You heard it here first. Eric Nagel, Jordan, Royal Rumble. We're going.
The second The Rock calls me, you are done.
I'm out of the show.
Done. I am out
Bye,
of
everybody.
It's Eric Nagel radio business.
I won't even get a goodbye to people. I'll just be gone.
Turkish John saying, aren't the Republicans assuming that she's already endorsing Biden? Yeah, they all.
Everyone always gets on the offensive.
Know that they're not going to get Hollywood, and they're not going to get most of the music industry. They'll get like country music and some other random artists, but they're not going to get the majority of anything artsy and creative. Always, whether they want to or not, has to lean more left leaning for all of that stuff. So
they got John Voight. They got all they need. No, they got John Voight. They're fine. They got Clint Eastwood. Yeah, they both are.
This car used to belong to John Voight. What? Really?
Yeah, that's his teeth marks in the pencil.
Yeah. So but it's a no-brainer. Like it's smart of her not to endorse anybody. It's smart of any artist not to endorse anybody. If they want to use your songs at a campaign, that's one thing. That's just licensing rights. Who cares? Yeah. That's a business transaction. But coming out for a camp for any kind of politician, whether you agree with them or not or whatever, why eliminate a good percentage of your audience by doing that? That's not smart.
She's gonna endorse him because last year I think she endorsed him. And
what did he do last year? There was nothing happening last year to endorse him.
It was just to get Trump out. They needed people to endorse Biden. That was basically it. And
election?
Unfortunately, we're still in the same situation. It's the same people, same Super Bowl. I mean, we're on a time loop. This is the last time. The last time the Chiefs played the 49ers, it was an election year, and it was Biden-Trump, and we're doing the same thing again. We're reliving it. This is Groundhog Day, which, by the way, as this goes up tomorrow.
She did for 2020, not last year.
But that was 2020. That's what I meant. Last election. Sorry, not last year.
You said that's why I was saying
I know, no, my bad.
Happened last year. There was
no. That was.
Imagine a major celebrity. I'm currently endorsing the president in power. Okay,
right.
And
a full year in advance.
For what? This does nothing. Oh, right.
Oh, I'm way off. Yeah,
way off. I'm sorry. I'm going back to bed. I'll shut up now.
Exactly.
Lucy Moody saying, remember when Hillary got Katy Perry to play the convention? Yeah, and Obama got a bunch of people to, endorse some athletes, Hollywood, music, and all that stuff. Yeah. Clinton did as well. It just always happens for a Democratic candidate that they get the Hollywood endorsement. Doesn't mean that they win all the time, but you'll get major talent to come and play at their inauguration balls and special events and things like that. Do you remember in 2016 when it was Hillary and Trump that they did that video of all the celebrities singing that song, Fight Song?
Oh, yeah.
And how...
just cringy.
It was something like Elizabeth Banks, who was an actress that went into directing, partnered with like C-SPAN, I think, and they put that video, and it was just like all little. Remember when everyone was doing like the Brady Bunch squares and that would float, and it was like the predecessor to Zoom calls, and they would have artists and celebrities, and they're all singing Fight Song. You know that song?
Yeah, I know it.
Song? I don't remember who sings it, but.
Is it Pink? No, it's not Pink.
It's not Pink.
No.
I don't remember the...
If only I had a computer in front of me.
Yeah, I don't have time to do that.
I'm doing it.
Anyway, so they put that out together, and they're like, this is where we're rallying to support her. We have to support her. And it just looked like everybody just goes, this is terrible. And then they did it again during the pandemic when they were doing the John Lennon black and white video, and everyone's
that was very cringy. And in fact, it got a lot of people just to roll their eyes at the
beginning of the
Gal Gadot and all these people.
People giving a care about anything celebrity. Like
it was Rachel Platten, who I don't know anything about her other than that song. There it is.
There it is. Thank you, Lucy Moody. It was. It was the pandemic was the really start of the decline of people not caring about celebrities as much anymore, not caring about celebrities making appearances on TV shows or things that they put out statements online, and social media too, because it made everything touchable. Like it looked like you could access a celebrity pretty easy. So the whole mystique was kind of gone, and people don't like hearing these.
They were off that pedestal. Like they weren't up here anymore. They're like down at ground level, and at ground level, nothing looks great. So you're like, all right. No thanks.
Well, good luck with your TikTok. You're going to have to settle with
generic
music from all the other companies like Magnet Box and Sony.
Ooh, I love my Sony catalog.
Moving on. Oh, this also affects TikTok too. Stanley Cups. We talked about them a few weeks ago. There was this big deal. We didn't understand why it was a big deal. There was a big craze for Target putting out special edition red and pink style cups.
Right.
And, at the time, we didn't know why this was a big deal. And then we did a little backtracking. Not backtracking, sorry. Deep dive on Stanley Cups. Like, why is this a thing? And sometime last year, some TikToker made Stanley Cups a thing and appealing to women, that they all felt the need that they needed to have this particular oversized beverage container, when before that they had those giant clear multi-gallon containers where every 2 hours it had some inspirational quote.
Yeah, you're doing great. For you so hydrated.
Water every day.
You should pee.
So then they needed a giant Stanley Cup for all their beverages. Like it wasn't just getting coffee. It's now everything had to be in these cups.
There was at the sports place I went to had an entire row just dedicated just to those particular. I think it's like the Hydro 2.0, the ones with the big handle and all the girls. It's just a full row, and it was like a Technicolor dream, just like white through green through all these different colors. It was insane.
The just this week I saw a couple people at the train station, different spots, going to and from Manhattan, where there's just people sitting there holding these Stanley mugs in their arm, almost like a baby, like, you know, in the corner of your elbow here, while they're texting on their phone or going through their bag or whatever. Everyone has these things. Well, some TikToker back last year made a big deal, and it became a big thing for women to get these cups because they were meant for blue-collar workers.
Yeah, they were like the big thermos with the metal top.
They were meant for
that would
coffee
like pour soup
or hot
in there.
beverages or something like that, for truckers, for policemen, for construction guys, that kind of thing. Like they would stop in at 7-Eleven and fill up their big cups, insulated cups, while they're on the work site, that kind of thing. And they only came in like earth tone colors. It was like green and beige and navy blue, and
most of them were like steel colored.
Yeah.
Like it was just like the like pea green with the steel ends.
So then it became they saw women buying this stuff, and look, Stanley didn't create it, but they were smart to steer into it, and
get on that.
Made the whole thing where they reformatted the cup, rebranded the cup into decorative
like
colors
accessory.
and glitter and little toppers on top of it and whatever for women to go nuts for it. And apparently they went from like $75 million the previous year to $500-something million the next year. So good on them for seeing a dumb trend and capitalizing, because it's their product. So why shouldn't they capitalize on it?
Right.
Well, now there's another problem. Because these cups that everybody was cringing for and going crazy and beating each other up like it was Black Friday now have traces of lead in the cups. So let's take a look at this here.
I mean, to be fair, growing up,
Just weeks after social media
my daughter got
make
2 of
the
them for
Stanley
Christmas.
Quencher
Yeah.
Cup the must-have accessory of the season.
I want to see if these Stanleys have lead in them for myself.
This morning, a
Maybe I should
wave of
test one.
TikTokers are testing them for lead and even throwing out the pricey status symbols.
oh no,
The
I'll
company
keep
says
it.
its products are safe, explaining on its website that it uses an industry-standard pellet to seal the vacuum insulation, and the sealing material includes some lead. But it's covered with a durable stainless steel layer, making it inaccessible to consumers. The controversy threatening to slow the momentum Stanley has built with female consumers and influencers.
If the green bottle is dad, well, the quencher is his daughter.
It's some kind of tough.
Yeah, that's the one I
The brand,
remember.
once associated with macho blue-collar workers, is now a
The big old mug.
$750 million a year juggernaut beloved by women.
Now
Jeez.
we're all about them big dumb cups.
That's SNL this past
SNL
weekend.
recently played up for laughs and even referenced the controversy.
Stupid shoes.
You can really taste the bacteria. I'm getting lead.
So how concerned should you be?
There really is practically zero risk of you ingesting any of the lead that's in this cup.
Lead exposure expert Jack Caravano
Here's the
says
thing.
while people shouldn't worry, he's disappointed.
What?
I grew up drinking water out of a garden hose and out of a faucet. I probably got more lead out of that than I've ever gotten out of a Stanley Cup. I'm not too worried about this.
Tom from Alberta. Consuming lead builds character. And you're right.
There you go.
You are right.
The company chose to use any amount of lead in its products.
We pretty much have stopped using lead in just about every product out there.
Pretty much. Not entirely.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not, no. It's
pretty much.
Almost, yeah.
You know, we had this other side business where we had those lead weights for fishing, and we just had a surplus. Like, how do we repurpose this? And we thought, we'd make some kind of alloy with it and put it in our cups. Now that's apparently a problem with people, so we'll figure out a different way to reuse the lead. How about you stop using the lead? Well, no, we have all this lead. We got to do something with it.
There.
Stanley also tells NBC News its engineering and supply chain teams are making progress on innovative alternative materials for use in the sealing process, while competitor Hydro Flask posting to advertise its bottles as lead-free, writing, "We chose
Good
this
for
path
them.
because we aimed for a higher standard."
Oh.
A new front in the water bottle battle as Stanley seeks to
Oh
reassure
no, this is the
its
Coke
customers.
Pepsi wars.
All right, so this is what we're talking about here. This circular
The water bottle battle.
size piece here. If this comes off, that then exposes the lead. The company says that is extremely rare, but if it does happen to you, you can always take advantage of the lifetime warranty.
Okay, so people are using it home testing
I didn't even notice that on the bottom. Now I want to check it out.
How easy would that be to pop open with a flathead screwdriver?
I mean, you'd have to go out of your
easy.
way to probably get that knocked out.
Knocked out? Or if you bash somebody in the head with it, I'm sure it's going to be used as a weapon at some point.
Well, it's a lifetime warranty.
Crazy guy.
I mean, it's not like a lead pipe. It's not an inanimate carbon rod. I mean, it's just not. It's just a cup.
Praise the rod. No, but you're going to see closed circuit television videos somewhere like in Philadelphia at 3 a.m. A crazy guy just bludgeons a guy coming out of the club with a Stanley Cup. You're
that would be kind of funny
right now, aren't you?
I'm imagining it. I'm also imagining like people taking it to like dentist office to put over themselves to prevent getting, the X-rays on them. Right. Just their Stanley Cups.
Lucy Moody, before this craze is over, someone will kill someone with a Stanley Cup. I concur. Yeah. I concur. All right. Did you know the Stanley Cup was started by a mom group in Utah at the Buy Guide on Instagram? Oh, I thought it was TikTok that was where it was. All right, so it was Instagram. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. Somebody made it popular on one of the platforms, and women just went crazy for it. And it's like one of those dumb women crazes, like Ugg boots, or some other kind of poorly thought out decor to wear, and you're just like, why that belt? Why is this a thing? Remember for a while those stupid red Smurf boots? Like for a minute, people thought those were a must-have. Or Kanye sneakers at all. Like they're those.
All the Kanye ones
by Adidas. They're all atrocious.
They're gross. They look like they're inflatable. They just have like these weird puffs. I never got it.
It looks like what people thought the future would be like in the 60s, in the 50s. Like, this is what we're going to wear on the moon. It's like, really?
No, we're going to wear it in Hollywood Boulevard.
Doesn't seem practical, but okay, I'll take your word for it. So anyway, so if you lead poisoning from drinking... Well, that's not true. I can't say that. Potential of
don't put that out there.
If you're getting the Stanley Cup. So what can you do?
What can you do?
Right. I wanted to see if there's anything else we can go through here before we move on to segment 2. Oh, I do want to talk. There's 2 quick things here. Universal theme parks.
Yes, I saw this the other day.
So Universal is now expanding their theme parks both in California and in Orlando to include new ventures, new areas, and maybe even a 4th park in Florida. Yeah, wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Orlando.
Yeah, in Orlando. So Harry Potter, Nintendo, and Monsterlands are set for a new Epic Universe theme park coming to Universal. Universal is set to add new Harry Potter attractions as well as a Nintendo area, which we know they did in Japan and California, but it hasn't opened in Orlando yet. But it's coming.
Not yet.
Right? And a Universal Monsters section, which, as much as the movies aren't doing well, will do great as a theme park attraction.
I would go to that. Like, that would be fantastic.
Right. That would be awesome. Including attractions, entertainment, dining, shopping located within the 5 theme park worlds. So you're going to have Celestial Park, which is offering entry into the new park that this land will feature rolling gardens and picturesque waterways. Sounds like, remember Busch Gardens had that other park? Cypress Gardens, where it was just a big park of plants and rivers, and it was just some nice area you could walk in and like, oh, this looks fantastic. Plants from all over the world, and those kind of things.
Botanical garden.
Yeah, but there was no rides or anything, so you're like, what's the point? Oh, we just had to offer something else besides a theme park sponsored by a beer company. We needed to offset it a little bit. So you're going into this picturesque waterways. We'll also have rides, includes a new racing coaster called Starfall Racers and a carousel inspired by constellations. Step into a lush green world where thrills, entertainment, dining, and shopping lead all who enter on an exhilarating journey of discovery. That sounds pretty fine.
That sounds nice.
Very tame. If you were trying to relax or cool off a little bit, I'm sure that's the area you want to go to before.
It's like going to Epcot.
Yeah.
Where you go to the part where you go around the world where you're just dining, you're drinking. There's not a ton of rides. You just kind of chill.
Right. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic, inspired by the inspired by the Fantastic Beasts franchise. This will offer guests a chance to step into 1920s Paris as well as the London-based Ministry of Magic. From 1920s Paris to the 1990s British Ministry, explore international wizarding communities and the magic that connects them in the wizarding world of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. I'd go see that. The Harry
They
Potter
have the two
section
parks
in the
already
park,
there.
Yeah, and they're fun.
I haven't been. I've never been to Universal on the West Coast, and I haven't gone to the one on the East Coast. And I know the East Coast has the two parks where one of them's Diagon Alley, one of them's the Wizarding World, and you take the train between the two.
Between both, like the train's its own
fantastic.
ride. Yeah,
yeah, because like all the windows are like screens, so like you're seeing your trip.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
To
add one more
your
level,
train's being attacked by Death Eaters.
Oh, that's really
cool.
cool.
You're seeing the Death Eaters come past the window and then like slowly peeking in, looking. They're looking, and then in the cabin area, you're stuck in a cabin. But then the hallway, the area for all the cabins.
Yeah,
you're seeing silhouettes from passing the door, and you're hearing Ron and Hermione and all the other kids.
That's really cool.
All that shit goes on. So that'll be fun. Super Nintendo World, similar to its LA Outpost. The Mario-inspired land will include rides and experiences themed to some of Nintendo's classic games and characters. At Super Nintendo World, you'll experience a new way to play, from challenging Bowser on the Mario Kart ride to venturing through Donkey Kong Country and so much more. That could be a lot of fun.
So they already did the Mario Kart in Japan and LA. They're going to put it here. I've been seeing behind the scenes of them doing the Donkey Kong Mine Train. They have built a ride vehicle that actually makes you feel like you're jumping over broken train track, because the ride system itself is actually hold on to a track that you don't see. So you think you're on these tracks and then you hit it, but you're below. So the below part lifts the whole thing. So you feel like you're jumping over this chasm.
Oh, but
cool. You're not. Like it's really weird. And then apparently the game designer for the Legend of Zelda series had something put up and then had to take it down. They might be expanding to a Hyrule area as well. So you're going to get Legend of Zelda and all that stuff. So that'll be really cool.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm excited because the Super Nintendo World in the East Coast has more space. So it has more space to expand and be a larger footprint, whereas the one in LA is very condensed. I haven't been, but the people I talk to, when they go in there, it's very small. Like you can't expand much in that area.
You know what? You know they're going to have some sort of banana-flavored exotic menu items.
Oh, sure.
And drinks and stuff like that. That could be a lot of fun. It's like, take that, Dole Whip. You know?
We got Chiquita.
Right. Lucy Moody says, they smell blood, Disney is weak. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. I've never seen that franchise, but I'm sure with the kids.
They're fun. They're really good. They're making a live action version of it. That's how good this franchise is.
Guess we'll have a chance to go on a Viking adventure inspired by the film franchise. Take to the skies and soar with dragons as you explore the colorful Viking village at the heart of Berk. Take part in wild boat battles, feast like a Viking, and more. The boat battles, if you have water cannons,
that would be super cool.
That would be a lot of fun. And then, of course, the Dark Universe, which I think is what everybody's looking forward to.
Yeah.
A land inspired by the Universal monsters, from the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein to a shadowy landscape where monsters roam. Dark Universe is a world of myth and mystery.
I hope that's a typo.
Why?
Because Victor Frankenstein is the doctor from the original Frankenstein movies. Victoria sounds like we're trying to get a little woke with who's doing what.
Yeah. What's that movie that's coming out this week or next week?
That's next week, and it's Lisa Frankenstein. It's Diablo Cody wrote it, and the daughter, Zelda Williams, daughter of Robin Williams, is directing it. It's her first movie.
The story is what?
It's kind of her, being the Dr. Frankenstein of that time, bringing a boyfriend back.
Because you can't have everything in history has to be changed to modern it up. Yeah.
So I'm not cool with that. I love the old Universal monsters. I've got box sets of the movies. Don't change that stuff. Keep it old school, and that'll make it really cool. Make everything black and white.
Can you imagine
walk into a whole world that's nothing but gray tones? I would be super excited.
Can you imagine that there's such an outrage, like if you're watching her on the screen, like through the People Mover or something like that, somebody yells, "Shut up, bitch," and then throws a Stanley cup right into the television.
There's so much lead.
Yes. Use it for your monster, dummy. The new addition to Universal's Orlando stable will also include the opening of 3 new hotels One theme to space and the other to Earth. Oh, that sounds awesome.
I know. We're going to do a show trip to Orlando.
The third hotel, Universal Helios Grand Hotel, will be located inside the park with an entrance directly into the new Celestial Park. Universal Orlando already boasts 2 theme parks, Universal Studios Islands Adventure, plus a water park called Volcano Bay. I've never been to Volcano Bay. I've walked through it, but
I've got to an age where I just don't like water parks. It's gross. I don't do them.
More details about the new Harry Potter and Universal Monster rides and experiences are set to be revealed in the coming months. I have a friend who works pretty high up in Lowe's Hotel. They're the management company for a lot of the hotels, and I think they run all the hotels at Universal. So I'll have to talk to her and see if they have some kind of media presentation or something they can send me, because I'd love to go to the hotel that's all about space.
Me too.
You know, because I'm sure it's a lot cheaper than the $35,000 a night Star Wars thing that
closed back in October.
No, I know, but it bombed horribly because
super bad.
Oh, it's the whole experience, and then people said it was 3 days of boring.
Yeah, they overpromised and underdelivered, and it didn't help that the big pandemic ruined a lot of things. So
right. All right. Before we move on here, there was something else I wanted to address. Where is it? It was in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through. I wasn't paying attention to the chat.
Come on now.
There it is. Tom from Alberta. Someone needs to build a Godzilla 1 boat ride. Yeah, because look, you have the Jaws boat ride right there in that little lake in the center.
You mean when Jaws pops out of the water?
Do the Jaws ride there, and then go, maybe take out one of the Olympic-sized pools or something from Volcano Bay and make that the Godzilla boat ride. It's like, what do you do? Well, you go out on the boat, it's on a track, and you're just sitting there and gives you the illusion that you're moving, and Godzilla just comes up out of nowhere from the water and just constantly chasing you for 5 minutes.
And you don't give him the illusion. You're sitting, one guy gets to be on with Disney and their Millennium Falcon, one guy gets to be on the gun trying to shoot the mines like they were doing, where it was blowing up near him and stuff like that. That would be super fun. Make everything interactive. Everything is... When you're stagnant, it's fun the first couple times, and after a while loses its luster. If you can interact and be more video game like, then you're gonna have some longevity with that stuff. So,
well, I can tell you this, Tom. Until we get a proper Godzilla attraction over in Japan, one exists, and it's a zipline theme park attraction.
Yeah, it's a museum theme park. Yeah.
Yeah. So let us, we're going to take a look at this here. Let's take a look at this.
Whoa, look at that.
Look at the size of that thing.
I think it's based on Shin Godzilla, right?
I'd have to see the face, but yeah, look at the teeth. That looks more like Shin Godzilla for sure. Which I'm not against. Shin Godzilla was cool.
I didn't realize so many people didn't care for Shin Godzilla.
Godzilla Interception Operation Headquarters.
I don't know. It was better than Godzilla 2000.
Is that the one with the alien ship with the tentacles?
I think so, yeah.
This looks like a labor camp. What is going on here?
Godzilla came.
I don't want to hear.
I was going to say, go to 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, here we go. Oh, yay, climbing the stairs. Great time.
It's the best part of the show.
Wow.
I mean, it's stupid, but man, I would do it. Imagine you're sliding, it's bum, 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 bum.
I want to hear, it should be screaming at you as you're going into it.
I mean, that's pretty funny. I wish they would have kept the theme throughout. You kind of go into his mouth, and all of a sudden it's
I was gonna say, so you're in the mouth, and you're like, oh, I'm going to be digested, and then
you're in the back rooms.
It's like they half-assed this. All right, look, that's cool, and then here's the back room. Oh, look, there's the lighting fixtures, there's the wiring.
What you don't know is when you go out this, if you look backward, you're coming out of his ass.
Yeah, lift the tail. You come out radioactive, glowing blue.
Yeah, that was. That would be fun, but I feel like that just loses its luster the second you get through that first part, and you're like, okay, right. I'm just on a zip line.
As you're getting close, you should see his eyes glow. The spikes behind him start glowing blue, and you start hearing that vroom, 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 vroom,
Right.
vroom, the turbine noise. Where
Put
it's
some
building
lights
up.
in there, maybe like some fog. I don't know.
As you're going into the mouth, then everything, it's just bright blue light, so it looks like you're getting hit with the atomic breath. And then you can hide all that shit behind him with those bright blue lights that are blinding you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come
wouldn't
out
see it.
the other end, and you'd be like, oh my God, I survived.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Was there anything more to this, or is that
I don't think so. I think that was just they get the little gun game and stuff like that. Like it's not
something.
as
They could do better.
See, it's mainly it's a museum.
Still, I would probably go to just for the museum. I wouldn't even do the zip line at that point because.
See, I love that stuff though.
Yeah,
I have the Criterion version of the Showa versions of Godzilla, so like the 50s through like the early 70s. It's like 12 discs, 12 movies.
Yeah.
You can't see it, and I'll grab it later. I have a book of all the Godzilla movies, like right there. It's such a good franchise, and I'm happy they got nominated for something. It's about time. They put in the work.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there you go. Until we can
Godzilla.
get a proper Godzilla attraction or theme park. Hell, if somebody decided to make a Monarch theme park where you had Godzilla, you have King Kong, you have other monsters and stuff, and make it an all-inclusive thing, even that would be great.
I mean, they had that Kong ride at Disneyland. I mean, not Disneyland, Universal.
No, they got rid of that a long time ago.
They have one in the Universal California. They remodeled it to look more like the
current
Skull
Kong?
Island and Peter Jackson versions.
Yeah, they got rid of the one in
The
Florida
old one where it was
a long
like
time ago. They got rid of that. They got rid of
E.T., Back to the Future.
E.T.'s gone. Back to the Future is the
Remember, they used to
Simpsons
be
ride.
Backdraft the ride. They used to have an earthquake simulator.
Yeah, those Earthquake, the movie thing, I think is still in California. I don't think it's in Florida anymore.
Can you imagine being on that ride and an actual earthquake hits? You just don't know it. You're like, wow, this is very interactive.
I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's been a thing. All right, we should take a break. I got to save this for next week, but I found a really terrible song. We have another mumble song that we still haven't gotten to, but I found another song, a different song that is just god-awful. And it's going to be something that'll really, really depress you by the state of entertainment. And
Love it.
also Angry Up the Blood. Angry Up the Blood.
So excited for that.
All right. This doesn't make any sense. There's really no story to it. I just want to show you that this exists. Do you know this is a thing now?
Yes. Did I not post that in our chat? They sold out very quickly. I tried to get one.
Yeah, so they made
Just to have.
This is a controller for the Nintendo Switch. That it's they made an Oscar Mayer Wiener controller made by a company called Hyperkin.
Yeah.
Has made a Nintendo Switch hot dog controller in partnership with Oscar Mayer. There's also a Heinz ketchup, Kool-Aid, and a Hui Fong.
Hui Fong, yeah. It's a company out of California.
Hui Fong's Foods Sriracha controllers are also on the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know why this is a thing, but apparently
I don't care. This is fun.
food-based controllers are going to be a new trend, I guess. I'm not against it. I think it's a little weird, but why not? You know, I'm sure Cup of Noodles will hop onto this thing. Maybe Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, Nissan or Cup Noodle or whatever. Maruchan, that's the other one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried to get one. Amazon sold out almost immediately. As soon as the article went up, it's like, hey, it's for pre-order, and gone. Just gone.
And then flipped for like $400 or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because people just have to do
that.
that.
People
all
are
the
jerks. I'm sure it'll filter through and I can probably get one later, but.
Right. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we do segment 2, television, movies, streaming updates. We watch all that stuff and let you know about it so that you don't have to. We'll be right back.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next.
Jordan.
Yes, sir.
We're a little over I'd say a little over 2 weeks away from a very, very important day for young men, for older men, males in general.
But Eric, Groundhog Day is tomorrow.
I know, but that's when we raise the bastard, raise him high, send his butt up to the sky. Oh, no, wait, that's Cannibal the Musical. No, that's not what we're talking about. Valentine's Day is coming up, and that's important because women, despite what they say, it's like, oh, we don't need anything, or we'll just go out to dinner and stuff.
Let's not do gifts this year.
Boulder Dash, that is not true at all. They will crucify you if you don't do the right thing at the right time or get them the right thing. So I got the idea here for you. It's the thing that's going to keep you, I'm going to coin this phrase, out of the doghouse. Trademark. Me.
Bob, it's yours.
Yes. Our pal Steven Singer has got his brand new rose, and everybody knows what the hottest color is right now. So you can just say I love you to your wife, your fiance, girlfriend, sweetheart, daughter, your they, whatever's in your life, with the world's best gift in a brand new color. Steven from Steven Singer Jewelers, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. You know him. You love to hate him. Has made probably the most coveted. We definitely know it's the most fastest selling version of his 24 karat gold dip roses in the history of him doing it. And he's been doing it since like the 80s. It's been around a long time. It's called Malibu Pink. Oh, I'm supposed to show you it.
Yeah, you have it.
I keep hoarding it for myself. Ooh. Oh,
in 3D.
Oh, it's magic. You
Malibu.
know. 24 karat dipped rose. There you go.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Now, you can go and get one of these things right now. The iconic color, you see it in fashion. It's in shoes and stuff. There was a movie that might have happened last year that made this color.
Oppenheimer.
Top, right? Oppenheimer, indeed. Right before the bomb explodes, pink everywhere. The shock and awe devastated a couple of countries, but we won't get into that. The Malibu Pink rose here. Look, they tried to get sponsorship with the other movie, but it didn't work. No. I don't know if we can say, isn't there a Malibu? I think there's a Malibu in the Barbie world.
Yeah.
PJ, the sister. Malibu PJ. I had sisters that had all these things. Malibu PJ.
Skipper.
So, oh yeah, she was a sister too, right?
Skipper was a sister, yes.
How many sisters did she have that they killed off in the Barbie world?
Let's not talk about it. There was a pregnant midge at one point.
Well, this is not part of the Barbie world. It's its own thing. It's like David S. Pumpkins. It's its own thing. You can go right now to Steven's and get Steven's 24 karat gold dip rose, the #1 gift for Valentine's Day. Real roses covered in luxurious 24 karat pure gold, deeply dipped and hand finished by skilled artisans that will last forever. Do the tango as you dance with it. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid.
Breaks your teeth. 24 karat gold.
That did hurt.
That is rough.
That is real. There's no chocolate in this, much to my dismay. Starts at $59. You get free shipping, a free personalized Valentine's Day gift, free lifetime guarantee. So if you throw this at somebody like you hit them with a Stanley Cup full of lead, that's lead. A lot harder than soft gold. But if something happens to this, there's a lifetime guarantee to replace it for you. And arrives in his signature gift box, so do yourself a favor. Beware of the knockoffs, the copycats, the fakes that aren't even real gold. They're lead. It's the evil Steven Singer, I tell you. He's melting down all those Stanley Cups and painting
Stanley dipped roses.
Stanley dipped roses. Full of lead. You don't want those things. You want the original item, 24 karat gold dip roses from our pal Steven Singer. Get it exclusively and only at IHateStevenSinger.com. If you're in the city of Philadelphia, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, go walk right in there. They'll greet you warmly and friendly, and they'll take care of you for all your Valentine's Day needs. Go get yourself the pink gold dip rose. IHateStevenSinger.com.
It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com.
Hey, it's Bert Kreischer, and you're listening to It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show, Eric Jordan here with you, where we go through television, movies, streaming updates, all of that stuff so that you don't have to be bothered and can pick and choose at your leisure to what you want to watch and partake in. But as we do before going into all of that, are you watching anything currently? Anything of note?
This past Monday, I went and saw Godzilla -1 minus color. It's actually really cool.
I bet you it's scarier, right?
It feels scarier, like that first attack in the movie where he's on the island going after all the guys on the plane repair island. Because it's in black and white, it's darker, so you barely see him really coming in. It adds this weird, cool, like almost documentary style layer to the movie that I thought was very interesting. I think it probably plays better on a big screen, so when you see it on a smaller screen, may not have that same impact. But I thought it was really cool. I love the movie, so I mean, I knew what I was getting into, but adding that layer was actually really, really fun. And I'm kind of glad they did it. I'm wondering, I got to check the totals to see if it brought in any more money that they weren't expecting for that one, but it was really cool.
Well, I'm going to wait for digital. I do want to see it, but it was only out for a week, so I'm just going to wait for the digital release, and I'm sure they're going to include the black and white one, because if they could sell the same thing twice, why wouldn't they?
Why not? Yeah.
They'll make
and then, and I know you'd watch this. I ended up finishing the last 2 episodes the other night with my son. We watched Masters of the Universe Revolution, the 5-episode quickly told story continuing from the last year's.
But what we don't
what was
know,
last
this
year's?
is part 1 was Revolution was part 1.
Revelations.
Was the first season. But we don't know if this is part 1 of a 2-part season, or if just season 2 was this short, because they, spoiler, teased a season 3.
They do.
At the end of the last episode. So you know that it's continuing. You know it got approved, much like a lot of other shows that Netflix canceled. This one did not.
No.
But it may be another year or 2 away.
My only gripe with this is I feel like they moved very quickly. Like they had an episode where they show a character, something happens with that character, and you would think that character would go do some stuff for like an episode or 2 before doing the big reveal. And no, by the next episode, it was like, oh, good. Now we're getting into a big battle. And then, it ends. It's only 5 episodes. Quickly told, they get very nostalgic with this, where they bring in Gwildor, a character they made for the movie version of Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe originally.
Not originally, no, but he comes in to help Orko do his little side quest. The voice of Motherboard was Meg Foster, the actress who played Evil Lynn in the movie. With you would recognize her with the piercing blue eyes. Mm-hmm. So she was the voice of Motherboard. They had a very big voice cast. I think the only one that I think fell short, which was weird, was William Shatner as Keldor.
Made no sense. There's
it was just odd.
I think that it might have been like, hey, he was available and he'll do it for whatever we're going to offer him, just to have another big name, because you got Mark Hamill and William Shatner together,
right,
in a property that's not in their respective properties. So that could have just been a prestige kind of grab.
Yeah, so it felt kind of weird, and especially there was one point where he said the name Skeletor, and we know him as Skeletor. Throughout the entire series, his name is Skeletor, but he said Skeletor, and me and my son both look at each other like, did he just say that? Like, I feel like he read the script, no one corrected him. They're like, look, we're lucky we even got him to do this.
He only did one pass, and that's all we got.
That was it. He was just doing spoken word poetry.
To do the voiceover thing, he read the index cards, and they're like, "Okay, Krusty, we're about ready." And he already hopped in his car and he left, like he just did the 4 reads and gone. That's probably what Shatner did.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. It was short. It was quick. It was like He-Man meets Tron in a way.
Yeah, very like all the tech and magic stuff.
Also, like the tech stuff from Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it felt that way.
I don't know where the Motherboard storyline comes from. I don't know if it was part of a comic series for Masters of the Universe. It certainly wasn't in any of the animated shows or the toy line or any of that stuff. So I don't know where it came from. But
yeah, Motherboard is a character I didn't know about. I knew about Hordak and all that stuff because, growing up with a sister, I had all the He-Man stuff and she picked up the She-Ra stuff. So Hordak and all his cadre of bad guys, like I knew of all them and stuff like that. So it was kind of neat to see it kind of come together. Like I said earlier, I was pointing at the TVs like, oh, I had that toy, or I had that toy. And it's like, oh, this toy did this, like that elephant. I was like, yeah, he spits water. And, it was neat to kind of feel that nostalgia in it. And I didn't hate the first season like some people. I did have an issue where it did feel like they continued with the trend where He-Man was almost a secondary character to like Tila in some sense Evil Lynn. Like it was their story and he was just there. I think Lena Headey killed it as Evil Lynn. Like her character was fantastic.
But I can see where people, because last season barely He-Man was in it, and when he was,
they killed him off twice.
He was
like,
feral and going crazy, and it was all about Tila. And now this was another Tila story, but Evil Lynn as well. It's like, look, all that stuff's there, but it's really the women who are the focus of the story. And then they tell you, no, it's a He-Man story. It's like, it really isn't, but.
Yeah, so it was still fun. I didn't look that deep into all that stuff. So.
And then I liked what they teased at the end of because you watch, it's 5 episodes, then the credits, and then after the credits, there's a post-credit scene. Mm-hmm. And all I'm saying is that they tease a season 3. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, but you can see, you were wondering when they were going to get there, and now it looks like they're going to get there. And it's going to be more Hordak related and the Horde related going into the 3rd season. So, fantastic. It's available on Netflix, 5 episodes, and they're all, each episode's what, 40 minutes
like
or something?
40 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
Like they go quick too. They're very fast.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like they're racing in the sense of you're watching it and then you're like, oh, wait, it's up already? And yeah, so go watch that over on Netflix. Also available right now. In theaters currently, I think this is the last weekend to see it, was Godzilla -1 - Color, and then Argyle, which is like a Bond-style caper mystery kind of collective thing. You've seen this format before when they do like Ocean's 11 or if they do The Kingsman or something like that. It's another kind of thing like that. I've heard it's very clunky. It's very predictable. And
I heard it's long.
A lot of people were very disappointed. A lot of people. And it
looks predictable.
The cast it's a great looking cast for it. It's stacked with celebrities and talent, but the movie just seems to not have been made the right way, and that is unfortunate. But it's in theaters. If you want something new to go watch, go see that. When is the Lisa Frankenstein movie? Is it this week?
That's the next week.
Next weekend. Okay. What else we have? We said Masters on Netflix. Also on Netflix, The Greatest Night of Pop, a documentary about the 1985 We Are the World song.
Yeah, it's I think a quick 90 minutes, just the making of. It's like a lot of behind the scenes footage of how like they got all those pop stars back in '85 to do the We Are the World.
Quincy Jones? Didn't he get that?
I believe it was Quincy Jones. Yeah, or Harry Belafonte. I know someone put that stuff together, and it may have, he may have reached out to Quincy and brought everybody. They had Michael Jackson, Springsteen.
I'll go watch that. I wasn't aware of that. That sounds interesting. Yeah. What else do we have here? Over on Paramount Plus, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and it's not Part 1 anymore. It's just Dead Reckoning.
Right.
So I never saw it in theaters. I will go watch that this weekend because I like the Mission Impossible movies.
Me too.
They're pretty good. Over on Amazon Prime, we have all 8 episodes of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's the Donald Glover vehicle. Mm-hmm. I never saw the movies. I don't think I'm gonna care about.
I think there's only one movie, show. And it was okay.
So, people like it. They made a series. There it is. Also on Amazon Prime, The Underdogs, the Snoop Dogg movie.
It looks like
I wanted to see this trailer. We were going to do it last week, but we went so long last week we didn't have a chance to do it. But
it looks like a Bad News Bears meets, Little Giants.
I have no problem with that.
It's already there. Might as well watch it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Like so.
Well, I don't know. It probably has some language, and I may have to watch it before I let the kids get a hold of it.
Bad News Bears was a family movie, and it had drinking and racial slurs and all of that stuff. Mighty Ducks, the first one, still was a bit off-putting.
Well, yeah, you gave someone who got drunk driving community service with children.
It was a family movie and a Disney movie. This can be. This is perfectly fine. This is a family movie. Kids can handle it. Tom saying Death Row must have put up some money so Snoop would start.
He owns Death Row.
He owns it. He's the CEO.
He put the check out.
Yeah.
He probably co-wrote or at least pitched it to somebody.
All the music rights. It's like this movie was so easy to make. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder why. Okay. But not on TikTok.
No.
It's fighting that. All right. Moving on. Yeah, I have no problem with The Underdogs. That's currently now on Amazon Prime. But I will say this. If you do enjoy watching your television and movies on Amazon Prime,
Oof.
They just now made it in the United States that you have to pay an additional $2.99 a month on top of your annual Prime fee of already $139 to
not doing it.
Have ad-free programming on Prime. Because if you don't, you're going to get movies and TV shows now with commercials in them.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to fall for that.
I
already pay enough.
I think I'll deal with the commercials for this movie because I don't watch Prime enough. Like I watched it for Gen V and The Boys. And
what they're doing,
I forgot
what they're doing, and I think they're going to do the same model as Peacock with commercials. I have Peacock, but I never paid for the upgraded version, so I get commercials. So during TV shows, you get them like a normal ad break. But for movies, they'll put up about
randomly insert it, yeah.
Well, they'll do about 2 minutes of advertising at the front of the movie, and then the movie plays straight through. So I think that's what Amazon's going to do. They're going to pump up their Prime listings, and we made a Lord of the Rings show. Come watch it, and then you'll get your full movie without a break. Because if they interrupt the movie, then yeah, it's definitely not worth even watching anything on Amazon Prime at that point.
Right.
So
you got to pay the extra $3 if you don't watch commercials in your programming for Amazon Prime. Starting now, actually.
Yeah, I think they did it like middle of January.
Right.
They put that through.
I want to, since we're talking about Amazon Prime, I want to stay with this here. Another trailer that I wanted to watch last week, and we just didn't have time to do it. They remade Roadhouse. And
why not?
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal and somebody else. I'm forgetting.
Conor McGregor's in it.
Conor McGregor. No, but he's not a main star in there, is he?
He's the antagonist. Well, the main antagonist is some white dude that I've seen and stuff. I can't remember his name.
You know what? We could probably watch the trailer. And
we should watch the trailer.
Yeah, we should watch the trailer and
just
see
point people out.
I don't think it looks as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, and
it is exactly what Roadhouse was schlock, and this is exactly what this is.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Roadhouse. The problem that they're running into right now is Jake Gyllenhaal and the director Doug Liman, who did the Bourne, I think one of the first Bourne movie or the second Bourne movie. They didn't want it to go to Amazon Prime. They've been pushing to get it.
Why not?
They wanted to put it in the theaters, and Bezos said, "Nah, we're good." And they're putting it on Prime. So
it'll run on Prime for a while, and they'll probably do what Nolan's doing with Tenet. Where they'll at some point when they fulfill their obligations or whatever, they'll just go, "Hey, we can reshop this. Let's put it in the theaters."
Right. So we'll see.
It looks fine. You want to take a bet on if he's walking past a television or in the bar? It's Family Guy doing Roadhouse bit in there.
It's so funny.
I'm sure it's going to be somewhere in the series in one of the shots where he's just walking past and Family Guy's Roadhouse bit is playing on the television. All right, so yeah, 2 new movies. That one's coming out March 21st on Amazon Prime. The Underdogs is available now on Netflix. Moving on with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. What's going on here? What are they doing?
So the Walt Disney Company came out and basically sent out an email to everybody, basically outlining new restrictions. So we knew that they were testing this out in Canada, where you can't share passwords, you can't stream from multiple locations, and things like that. So what they're coming out is that they are going to start adding limitations on sharing your account outside your household beginning March 14th. Company added that it would analyze account use, and it could suspend or terminate accounts that shared login details beyond their households, which means they're cracking down. And what happened is Netflix did this exact same thing, and they saw an increase in subscribership, which is exactly why Disney/Hulu ESPN Plus is doing this, so they can boost numbers. Because although Disney Plus gives a lot of content, they're not getting a lot of new subscribers. So they're trying to boost that by limiting who can share.
One of the problems with the Netflix crackdown was that not only did they crack down on the passwords, that you can't share the passwords, if you're using your own password and you travel, you have to let them know, or else they won't let you use your own account. It's like
talking to your bank to say, "Hey, I'm going to be using my credit card or debit card in like Spain."
I've had
you
that
have
happen
to do that
all through the 2000s. If you saw me use the card somewhere that morning, you saw me use it at Newark Airport. 5 hours later, you saw me in California using it. It wasn't like it was hacked. But
I had to do that when I went to Germany. They're like, "Oh, okay."
They just
and
shut
you have
off,
to let them
but
know.
they don't tell you. Like you go to use your card, all of a sudden it's declined. You're like, what the hell's going on? You call the bank. Oh, we noticed some suspicious activity, so we turned it off.
We see what you buy on a daily basis.
Okay.
There's no chance you're going overseas.
Okay. But why didn't you send me a notice that, hey, so now they do. Now you'll get it. Like I'll go to order some stuff online. I saw it a bunch during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Because if I was shopping late at night and I'd go to buy something, I would get a notice, like it would say decline on the webpage, and then my phone would go off saying, hey, we noticed suspicious activity. Do you recognize any of these transaction attempts? Yes. You're sure? Yes. Okay, your car's free to use again, and then I could continue shopping. That I don't mind. But before, like over a decade ago, they didn't even tell you.
No.
They would just shut down, and you had to call the 800 number.
And,
like
and if you were, especially somewhere where it wasn't 24-hour access, you were screwed.
You were kind of fucked at that point. All right, so there was that. But now Netflix has that thing, too, where it's like, well, we'll let you go for a day or two with that. I'm away on vacation for a week. You're going to let me use my service that I'm paying for, even though I'm not home. I don't need to tell my streaming providers that I'm traveling for work or I'm traveling on a family vacation to let me use the service that I'm paying for from my devices that are recognized by your service, because they love to say, well, we noticed this IP thing. Well, the IP is the same from my iPad or from my laptop or whatever. It should be fine, but whatever. This is going to be a huge pain in the ass because this starts March 14th in the United States that they're going to do this.
So next month now.
Disney's going to be a bigger problem than Netflix because of the amount of kids that use iPads that are watching this stuff when they're at a restaurant or if they're in the car or whatever. Kids have the movies on. They have the stuff downloaded into their to their devices as they're traveling. On the plane, you always see kids with their iPads. And if they're under a certain age, they all have some sort of Disney programming or Nickelodeon programming, something like that. But imagine you're traveling with a kid under 10, and you have this stuff here. It's like, well, we're down in Florida. We're going, we're here for 2 days, and then we're going to the Magic Kingdom, and then on a cruise or something like that. Oh yeah, well you're not in your home network, so we can't give you access to Disney Plus because we don't know it's you. That's going to be a huge friggin' problem. But we'll see how they iron that out. Moving on. Very little details about Quentin Tarantino's final movie other than the fact that it's called The Movie Critic. And it's supposed to be about, it takes place somewhere in the 70s in California. It's based on a guy who really lived but was never really famous. And he used to write movie reviews for a porno rag. That's all that is known about this movie. They had just announced that Brad Pitt is joining Quentin again for the final movie, which I don't know if it'll be Quentin's final movie. Maybe he goes on to produce movies instead of directing.
Yeah, well, he's been trying to do a TV show based off of the cowboy stuff from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And he was trying to do a Star Trek movie, I think, at one point.
I don't think that's going to go.
Yeah.
He was trying to make an R-rated, edgy Star Trek, and I'm like, I don't think we need that.
So one more thing we know about Quentin's last movie, they're not even ready to do any of this stuff. It is rumored that a 2025 release date is being eyed for his final movie, but more details as it comes in. Going back to Netflix real quick. So they gave you a list of because they've been canceling a lot of stuff again.
They really have, yeah.
Here shows that we know are definitely coming back for the year 2024. Squid Game season 2, Bridgerton, whatever season they're on. The Night Agent, a new season, I think the final season too of Cobra Kai. That's coming back this year.
Yeah, it is the final season. They just posted pictures of them behind the scenes.
All right, Emily in Paris, that 90s show, which who knew that was.
I can't believe they got a second season. That show was terrible.
And something called The Diplomat, which I'm not familiar with that particular property. Now, other shows that people were expecting this year got pushed to 2025, maybe because of the strikes. Who knows? But Wednesday, season 2, is not coming out till next year. Stranger Things, the final season, season 5. A new season of One Piece, that popular Japanese animated show.
I didn't hate it. Like I actually kind of enjoyed the show. I'm fine with that.
That's not coming out. The Lincoln Lawyer, did they make a series off the movie?
They did.
Okay, well, I'm not familiar. That's not coming out till next year. The Watcher, which I know has 1 or 2 seasons out already.
I think it's 1.
one season already. So another season of The Watchers not till next year. Something called Exo Kitty. I don't know what that is.
Never heard of that one.
And The Recruit, which I also am not familiar with. And that comes out next year. We had mentioned Family Guy while talking about Roadhouse. I should have made the transition then, but I forgot about it. Is going into its 25th season.
I can't believe that.
Right.
Like, what the heck happened?
25 years of Family Guy. It made its debut back on January 31st, 1999. 25 years later, the animated comedy series remains a genre staple despite getting briefly canceled in 2022. January 2023, Fox renewed Family Guy for seasons 22 and 23. It's still surviving and thriving. It still has a sizable audience. It is a perfect example of there being an appetite for something like this. So we continue to feed the beast, said Seth MacFarlane. There's no indication that the show is going to end anytime soon. Good for them. The fact that they're around, South Park is around, Simpsons are still around. As long as the writing's good and people are liking it, that's great that they're still intact.
Yeah, and you got idiots like this introducing these things to our children. You know, I ran about 3-4 episodes with my kids the other night and with The Simpsons, and it just won't die. If they keep churning it out, we'll just keep watching it.
Moving into the world of Tim Burton, he's just been announced to direct the remake of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, which was one of those old schlocky, like
50s sci-fi,
yeah, like a B movie kind of thing. And then they made a remake of it in the 80s
with Lily Tomlin, the incredible shrinking woman.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're thinking of there is an Attack of the 51. Was it who played in Splash?
Not Kim Basinger. Hannah? No.
Yeah. Daryl Hannah. I think she was in the remake.
Yeah, I thought there was another remake of this.
Why are we just sitting here guessing shit? Like, we can
only there was some sort of device. Tim Burton is directing the upcoming film for the script. But whoever, the science fiction horror story that follows a wealthy heiress who grows into a giant after an alien encounter and exacts revenge on her cheating husband.
Sure.
That sounds lovely. It's unclear how closely the new take will follow the original 1958 movie.
So woke.
He's going to direct that, and then he has ties to the Beetlejuice sequel, right?
Yep, he directed it.
All right, so the Beetlejuice sequel officially getting its release date and a poster titled Beetlejuice. So that means they're setting up for a third
Daryl
one.
Hannah.
They're going to set up for a third Beetlejuice.
I'm thinking so. The second I saw that they did that as their title, A, great marketing. B, that just means they have to do a third one.
What if the third one is Beetlejuice Candyman? You know, that or Bloody Mary.
Beetlegeist.
Something like that. The poster released, revealing that the release date is September 6th, 2024. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and Catherine O'Hara are all set to reprise their roles. In the sequel, it has also been reported that Wednesday star Jenna Ortega will play the daughter of Winona Ryder's Lydia character, joining other series newcomers William Dafoe, Justin Theroux, and Monica Bellucci, who is
stunning,
lovely on the eyes. So
stunning.
That is happening. I'm actually interested in seeing that. If they can come up with another music number as legendary as Jump in the Line or Deo.
Harry Belafonte,
the Harry Belafonte stuff. That'd be fantastic. Video game news stuff. There's a lot of video game stuff, but maybe we should save that for next week. You want to see about maybe getting Brian Shea back on?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that came out. A new Silent Hill's coming.
I'm excited.
They put out a mini Silent Hill that's already available. Like there's a couple things out. I mean, we had that Xbox stuff a couple weeks back, and then Sony did their thing, I think yesterday, the day before.
Right.
So we got some game stuff if we want to get Brian on.
Okay. We should definitely do that. All right. I think we are done for this week.
Yeah.
That has been a lot. Thank you all for being here. We do need to do the plugs. So, as always, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
When I'm not on this lovely show, It's Eric Nagel on all your streaming services. I'm also on I'll Watch It Later podcast, where we talk movies, things that we haven't watched before, and kind of catching up on the stuff that we probably should have seen by now. You can check us out on Instagram at Watch Later Pod. We are going to be instituting some video here soon. We're going to be testing some of that out this weekend with our snack show. But yeah, come check us out. Short and sweeter, just like you like it.
Yes. There was an old song called One Cup of Coffee. Do you know that song?
Wait, which one was that?
One Cup of Coffee. I think it was
sounds familiar.
I think it was a Bob Marley song. It's like make my coffee short and sweet, just the way like you used to wrap your arms around. I forget. I don't know. It makes no sense.
No, do the whole song.
Look for the whole song. Someplace there. But for now, follow us across the board right there on the bottom of the screen, or if you're listening in Radio Land, at It's Eric Nagel across all the social medias. If you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, that's great. You can find us there for on demand. But if you're listening other places, Apple, Spotify, any other place for on demand, do us a kindness. Leave us a positive review. It definitely helps the program, and we thank you kindly for doing all of that. And if you want to join us live each and every week we do the program, you can hop into our live rooms, go over and like, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the super chats, all that fun stuff that they're telling you to do nowadays with all that stuff. YouTube and Twitch. Follow us in one of those rooms and get alerted so when the show goes live, you can drop what you're doing, even if you're driving on a busy highway. Load up your phone, hop into the room, and be part of the program. Don't do that. I'm sure there's some legal repercussion if you actually did it. So,
warning.
With
do
that
not
being
do this at home.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. With that being said, until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Eric said it blows.
Oh, well, if Eric said it blows.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.